Hey book friends, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to my May reset video. You guys, I've been doing this for a couple months on my channel and I really like it. I like the format. I like being able to chat a little bit about the books I'm planning on reading, as well as the books I've picked up, the books I'm most excited about, any readathons, all the things. It's kind of what I've decided to put into these reset videos. I think it's really fun. So let's just hop in. Let's hop into my May reset video. Hey everybody, my name's Angie. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back, all the things. So like I said, I want to look at May. I want to look at kind of all my book plans for May. And I think a good place to start is probably my TBR or my potential TBR, because there's a few things on here that I am reading for buddy reads or challenges or Patreon or things like that that I want to touch upon before I get into a readathon that I'm doing this month. And so first off, for my reading challenge, which I run on Discord, it's always linked below, I believe the prompt for May is read a book from a favorite author. So I specifically wrote that prompt for this book. And the book is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. Now, I'm not normally a romance reader, but I have been really enjoying her books lately, and so I'm really excited. This is her latest book. It just came out. I need to pick it up still, but I wanted to get a paperback book because it'll match what I have on my shelves, so I still have to order it. But from what I understand about this book, it has to do with these two people who are unlucky in love in the sense that they both believe they're kind of cursed. Like they will date somebody and then when they break up, that person will go on to find the love of their life. And it's happened over and over and over again. So I think the idea is they want to break the curse with each other. And so they kind of fake date over the summer. And I'm anticipating they get together. It just sounds so good. And I really love her characters. I find them very relatable and I just love the way she writes. So that is for my book challenge. But it is also the book that we are reading as a part of one of the Patreons I have joined, which is Gwen's Patreon. I'll link her down below. I love her Patreon. I say it in every video. It's fantastic. But we are reading this together, so it's kind of a 2-for-1 for me, which is fantastic. Another one I am reading with my sister. So let me get that one. So my sister's fantastic. We have kind of a running buddy read going, and we are finishing up this series. And so this is A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab. I think the trilogy is called Darker Shades of Magic. I'm not 100% sure, but I just finished the second book last month and I really enjoyed it, you guys. I feel like these books have been around for a long time. I'm actually not sure when they were published, and they're fairly popular, but some people have a lot of negative things to say about them, but I don't. I really enjoyed them. They are a fun time. It is not too complex. I do like that. It is basically set in our world almost. It's like set in London, but different types of Londons. It's based on how much magic is in the Londons, and there's like red, white, gray, and black London, and there are some people who can travel between the worlds, and one of our main characters of Kel can do that. And the story is just, I don't know, I just really enjoy the characters. I enjoy them. I think they're fun. Our main female character can be a bit reckless and annoying at times, but not so much that I don't like her. But anyway, we're moving on to this one. I'm reading this with my sister and I'm so excited. The other thing on my list is Bloodchild. I think this is by Octavia E. Butler. I have not read anything from her. I would like to. I feel like she's a pretty popular author. And also this will be my first short story collection. I think that's what it's called, short story collection. And I'm curious about that format of writing. I just really haven't tried it. It hasn't drawn me in before, but it is part of a buddy read on Angela's channel from Literature Science Alliance, so I will link her down below. And so I'm going to give it a go. So those 3 books are definitely going to be read in May. Now, what else is going to be read is a little bit more loose. Never mind, let's back that up, because Mockingjay, I'll put it up here, is actually part of a read-along on Gwen's Patreon. It's a little bit looser, and at first I wasn't going to join in because I've read Hunger Games like a long time ago and like half of the second book, but then I picked it up on audio. Oh, I love these books. I think I listened to the first 2 on audio originally, and they just suck you in. They're so fast-paced. They're so much fun. I mean, it's Hunger Games. Like, you don't need me to explain it. Mockingjay, that's also something I'm going to be reading in May. So those 4 books I'm for sure going to be reading. This last one that's on my list, I want to read. I just picked it up because there was like a buy 2 get the 3rd free on Amazon, and so I couldn't resist. This is the latest Leigh Bardugo book, and it's called The Familiar. It's historical fantasy, and I have been really enjoying historical fantasy. This has to do with this girl during like the Spanish Armada time, so I think 1800s? Doesn't really say. And she is in Spain, and she's like a maid of some sort, but she has like a bit of magic. And I always say like luck magic, but now I can't quite remember. But somehow her mistress becomes aware of it and starts to use her to better the family, right? And then like somebody higher up in the government hears about it as well, and it goes from there. I have read a number of her other books. I haven't read like Ninth House and those ones yet. I still want to. But anyway, those 5 books are on my TBR. Now there's going to be a couple more because I do have a readathon I want to participate in May. And so let's just segue into readathons. So again, this actually comes through a Patreon, which is the reason I love joining Patreons. I love just kind of the creativity that goes into them. And this one is again on Gwen's channel. She's running a secret garden readathon for the very beginning of the month, like I think it was May 1st to the 5th. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to read The Secret Garden. I'm just not a big classics fan, and I honestly think it is part of our homeschool curriculum for my kids at some point. And so I feel like I'm going to get the story anyway, so I don't really want to reread The Secret Garden. But there are other prompts, and one of them is to read a retelling. And this book sounded so good. So the retelling is called This Poison Heart. It's by Kaylin Byron, I think, and it's middle grade. And I don't typically pick up a lot of middle grade, but I thought this one sounded really good. It has more of a fantastical nature than I think the original does. But anyway, this is about our main character named, I think it's like Breesis. She has a magical ability, and that is with like a single touch, she can grow like beautiful plants and botanicals and all of this. And so she's always had this gift, if you will. And then I think her aunt dies and leaves her and her family this like big estate or something to that notion. And Breesis thinks that she can go and really work on her gift there, but then there's something about either the garden or the house that is a bit mysterious and fantastical, and there's this like walled garden, all these things that kind of make you think of The Secret Garden. So I thought that sounded really fun, and I have my hold in for the library, so I should definitely have it by May. And I think that's just like a fun, fast read. Another book I'm thinking about reading for that readathon, and I obviously won't give you too many details about the readathon because you should just join her Patreon. I feel like I say this in every video, but I mean it in every video. And so this book is another one that hits a couple of prompts. I think like a book set near water maybe, and like green on the cover. There's a couple other prompts. This one fits. And I'm going to pick up Skin of the Sea by Natasha Bowen. So I talked about this when I was talking about the books I wanted to read for the Our Fantasy Bingo Challenge. Now, this is another, I think it's a YA book actually, it's not middle grade. I think it's YA. It's another short book, so I thought both of these would be perfect for a readathon. And this is more of a mermaid tale. And so it has to do with our main character of Simi. And it sounds like she, yes, is a mermaid. And her job is to collect the souls of those who have died at sea and bless their journeys back home. But it sounds like she like rescues somebody, like a young man. And I'm not sure if that makes this like a romance in some way, but she's not supposed to interfere. And I think then she might get into some trouble. Honestly, I don't know what this is about, and I haven't heard anybody talk about it, which this year I'm trying to do more of. I'm trying to like not get people's opinions. But those are the 2 books I'm picking up for the Secret Garden readathon that starts out early May. So I'm really jazzed for that. And now I want to talk a little bit about, what should I talk about? Upcoming releases. So anticipated releases for May. Okay, in May is my most anticipated book, probably of the year. It's the only one I have pre-ordered. I don't pre-order books, you guys. I don't. I'm a little too cheap for that, in all honesty. But Stuart Turton, I pre-order all of his books. And so his latest book is coming out in May. I don't even know when. I don't even care. It is called The Last Murder at the End of the World. Now, I am not planning on reading this in May. I think I'm reading it in June or July, because it's part of my reading challenge, because I wanted other people to read the book with me. I want to buddy read it because I want to hear other people's thoughts, because I think his writing is so twisted and interesting and clever that I'm excited. And I really hope this book kind of lands close to The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, which is like an all-time favorite book of mine. And so from what I understand about this, it seems like there's an isolated island of sorts. There's people on it. I'm not sure if it's like utopian in nature, but there's these people, scientists, that are involved in keeping the island safe. From what, I'm not sure, but then we find out that one of the scientists is found like wounded or dead on the shore, and that starts the clock, like a 72-hour clock, that they have to fix it, or whatever is without is going to come in. And so I don't know. It sounds fast-paced. It sounds kind of confusing, a little sci-fi, a little mystery. It's going to be good. I hope it's going to be good. So anyway, that book is coming out in May. The other book that's coming out in May, I'm really interested in, and I can't quite remember what it's about, but it's One Perfect Couple by Ruth Ware. I feel like Ruth Ware hits or misses with me, but I often pick up her books just because it could be really good. So I don't usually like to know too much about my thrillers, but this one I was drawn in because of the "and then there were none" trope. And so it sounds like there are 5 couples on this island and they're trapped and there's a killer on the island. I'm not sure more than that. I don't want to read more than that, in all honesty. And I want to see what happens. So those are the 2 books in May that are coming out that I'm anticipating. I have holds on the library. Well, I'm buying the one. And I have a hold for the Ruth Ware just to give it a go. So I'm excited for those. And the last thing I want to do on this reset video before this gets too long is I want to chat through a couple of books that I bought. So it looks like I have 6 books that I bought in April that I want to chat through, and I've already talked about a couple of them. So I did pick up the Leigh Bardugo book, so that's one that is part of my haul. I also did pick up this book, so A Conjuring of Light. Now, granted, they just put out new covers, which is so annoying because I had to track down the old covers so that my set matched. I don't know if anybody else does that, but I had to have them match, and so I found this one on Pango, which I do love Pango. I love that I can sell books and then I am able to pick up books like this on there. And so those 2 books I've already talked about. Then I also have a couple cookbooks, and then I'll show you the rest of my normal books. I picked up these. So these are Well Fed Weekend and Well Fed. So these are not new cookbooks. They're kind of tried and true paleo cookbooks, which I've been paleo for the past year or so. I don't know if anybody's interested in hearing more about that. It has to do with kind of my autoimmune struggles that I've also shared on this channel. But I picked up these books because I've heard they just have some basic, good paleo recipes. So that was another Pango purchase. And then this one. So this is Warm Hands of Ghosts by Catherine Arden. Oh my gosh, I love Catherine Arden. I loved the Winter Night trilogy. And this copy I actually won from Gwen. Oh my gosh, go check her out. I think I've mentioned her 4 times now. But she was running a bit of a giveaway on her Instagram and different things. And I won this one, and I was so excited. I was just jazzed. It's the Aardvark copy, which I don't have an Aardvark subscription. I'm a little tempted. But this book, let me just focus. This book is a historical fantasy again, but it's a little different than what I feel like her other books were about. We have our main character who was a nurse. Oh, I didn't even realize she sent me a bunch of stickers. Oh, you were the sweetest. And so this has to do with a main character. I think she was a nurse, a field nurse in 1918. So we're talking World War I. And she comes back from the war, but her brother, I believe, is still fighting in the war. But in some way she gets like contacted almost by like his ghost or something that makes it so that she goes back into the war and is trying to look for her brother. I don't know. Usually I don't go paranormal, in all honesty, but I think it's going to be an interesting take on that. And so I'm just really excited to read that one. Okay, another one I got. So this one was because of my sister. She said she loved it. I have heard kind of hit or miss on this book, but I feel like all thrillers are like that. So I've stopped trying to listen to people's thoughts on thrillers because there's some that I just love that other people think are trash. And so it is what it is. So I picked up First Lie Wins. It's also a Reese's Book Club pick, which I don't know, maybe I'll pay more attention to that. I'm not quite sure what this has to do with it. It sounds like it's about this girl named Evie Porter who doesn't have a past, and it sounds like she's on assignment in this small town to do something, accomplish something, and I really don't know. I've actually never read the synopsis. I just bought it because my sister said I probably would like it. Okay, and then the last book I picked up is another kind of older book. It's not as new, but it's been recently redone, and that's The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. So this is the 10th anniversary special edition, and it's been fully revised with new material. So what drew me into this was just kind of the basic premise of this world. I think it's kind of just a little bit in the future, 2059. And it sounds like it's about this kind of oppressive government, the Republic of Sion, and it's been trying to kind of squash out what they're calling unnaturals, which I think is maybe magic people. And we have our main character of Paige Mahoney, who has like dream magic, it says. She's a dream walker. and she's part of kind of the criminal underground. And then for some reason she crosses paths with somebody in that Scion place. The Mysterious Founders of Scion. I don't know, there's 4 books, they're chunky. I've heard good things. I can't remember whose channel it was that made me think that I would like this. No, I know who it was. It was Mel from Melanor Reads. She just had recently read this, and the way she described it made it sound like something I would really like. I've forgotten what she said, but that's okay. I put it on my list, and now I'm excited to kind of start that series up. So yes, you guys, May, it's gonna be so good. I feel like these reset videos just get me so excited and ready for the month. But let me know down below how you think May is going to be. I mean, it's the month before summer starts. It's my last month of homeschooling. We're getting so close, and I'm ready. I'm ready for a little bit of a break. I'm ready to read more books. And so if you've made it this far, I think I'm going to start doing these in my videos. Maybe. If you've made it this far and you don't want to say what you're excited about for May, or you don't have anything to say, just put a little flower emoji, because it's springtime and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. But anyway, you guys, that's what I have. I hope you all are doing well, and I will see you in the next book video. All right, take care.